Hi there, my name's Oliver and I'm the founder of the Anthropocosmic Apothecary Dermal Day Spa and Wellness Retreat in Tyalgum, northern New South Wales. For those of you that know Tyalgum in northern New South Wales, I hear you cry, you're definitely not there, and you are right, I'm currently in Sydney. And while I've been here visiting some family and colleagues and friends, it really reminded me as to why we launched the Dermal Day Spa and Wellness Retreat. Both why we launched it and also why we launched it where we did, which is pretty much in the gorgeous countryside of northern New South Wales, located just by Mount Warning, is the common name, but I will correct myself and say that we should all call it Wollumbin, as that is the true name of that for the indigenous people of the area, which is actually the Bundjalung Nation. Anyway, while I was in Sydney here, staying at this gorgeous hotel, I must say, in Sydney by Circular Quay, it reminded me why we launched it, the reasons, not only why in terms of ethos, but also why in terms of where. So I just wanted to start by really introducing us and starting to share with you all why we are here. And there's a few things that I want to touch on now, but what I would like to do is actually share with you a regular post from me to just share that awareness about wellness and about us and about our ethos, philosophy and so forth. So really all I can say for now to keep this video post short, because I will try and keep them short at each point, is to really remind myself and share with you why we launched the Day Spa and Wellness Retreat in the first place. And having myself worked in international 5-star spas and wellness resorts around the world, the first thing I realized was that wellness has really become a luxury item. And that really saddens me because, you know, as much as it's beautiful to go to these amazing places that I could mention some names, but I won't for the sake of what I'm about to say, but who can afford, you know, $1,500, $2,000 for a night sometimes or a weekend to gain that valuable wellness that we all need? I recently was very privileged to be a part of a global mentorship program with the Global Spa Network, and I was working alongside a mentor called Tomoka, who works for a huge resort world in Singapore. And we had a discussion and both resonated on the same fact that wellness should not be a luxury item. Wellness, well-being, which we can talk about in another post, and the difference between those really needs to be accessible for all, and we all need to embrace wellness on a day-to-day basis. Now I know that even, you know, the most cost-effective wellness retreat or spa is still, you know, unrealistic for people to come every day, although in the future I hope that that will be a possibility. But for now, we do all need to embrace wellness into our lives on a daily basis. And so one of the main things with the Anthropocosmic Apothecary was to bring to you all a space of nurture, of truth, of integrity and of heart that really does give you as clients a space to, as we say, reflect, release and renew. I'll tell you more about that later, but to give you just an overview of us, as I say, the main thing is we want to bring you all wellness in an affordable but still very beautiful and luxury space. And so we've created the most amazing space, which a lot of people refer to as sort of like a sacred space, an inner sanctum, where when people walk into our doors, the main thing that you're touched with is that feeling, that heart, and that true care for you all. Now, I know we all speak about, you know, this service levels and expectations, but for me, it's all corporate. And what inspired me on my journey to launch this day spa was actually I worked in a chain of travel spas, and I was, you know, very lucky to get where I got at an age that I did. Although if you're thinking I look quite well for my age, then that's thanks to all the dermal treatments, but we'll get to that in another stage. But I realised after working myself to the bone, living on coffees and Mars bars for 6 months, that I'd exhausted myself and really had become into such a Western ethos that we have of, you know, pushing to acquire materialistic things, to boost our egos, to boost our own desires. And I realized quite quickly that that wasn't satisfying me, that my words were, I'm over the Western world. So myself and my partner headed off to Thailand. Well, headed off, I sort of said to him one day, I'm going to Thailand to teach English to underprivileged children, and you're either coming with me or you're not, but I'm going, because I needed to reset myself and find myself and find my truth in whatever I wanted to do. So I left the industry and went traveling in Thailand with him, and we taught English to children on the border of Burma and Cambodia. And it was such a joyful experience. However, during that, we got a call from a family member in Sydney to say that he was just been diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. And of course, sorry, unprofessional, but of course that was really difficult, and it made us realize, wow, we need to get back into reality. Excuse me 1 second. So we left Thailand and we went to Sydney and we saw him. And during the course of that time, it was a stress for us and him, of course, more so than us, but we wanted to stay in Australia, and so I went into contracts of the spa industry. I went back into the industry, and I realised that, again, I'd gone back into this spa industry that was so just driven by money and driven by bottom lines and revenues, and I noticed that clients were just a number. And to me, I've always been in service, and to me the biggest thing is service. You know, if you serve someone and you give them everything you've got, and you come from a place of heart and truth, that is the best thing for wellness. And having been in the spa industry, I realized you can go to anywhere. You can have a massage, you can have a pedicure, you can have a facial, you can do some yoga. But the most important thing is who is holding you in that moment, and that's us as staff, as wellness professionals. And so really, long story short for now, because I need to try and keep these video posts quite succinct and short, so that you guys don't drop off to sleep, because I do have a tendency to talk and talk and talk. But in that time in Sydney, and then traveling around Australia and working with different spas and winning them awards, I realized, hang on, I'm still doing this for everyone else and doing it for a bottom line, and it wasn't sitting well with me. And so really that's what happened in a nutshell that inspired me to find a location that was true wellness, or a location that was true in a sense of an energy and a space that could really deliver what I wanted to. And going back to our family member that was diagnosed with cancer, during the time of chemo and not chemo, chemo and not chemo, I was concerned that there was nowhere where someone could go with their family and experience wellness and a retreat that was, 1, affordable, 2, still at a 5-star level, 3, had that heart and that feeling, and 4, worked with oncologists and worked with other professionals to bring together a whole array of wellness as a package that, as I say, was affordable, but, you know, still very, very touching to them in a way that doesn't exist. Anyway, so that's really the rationale, and being in Sydney, getting back to why it reminded me, is that Tyalgum itself and Wollongong, a sacred mountain, has such a beautiful and special energy around it. And we found a heritage bank that really needed some tender loving care, and we thought, hey, we can do this here. And so what we've done is we've converted a heritage bank building in Tyalgum, and we have created what I hope you will all feel is a beautiful, nurturing, 5-star space where truly every person, every client is treated as an individual, is treated on their individual case, and is given every ounce of our consciousness, our heart, and our care. So that's one reason. Another reason why we started also was, excuse my language, but the BS, if you can work that out, I'm sure you all can, that comes with our industry these days. You know, we've seen, and talking on the cancer side, we've seen bloggers who have lied about their cancer to get some fame, to get some money, which I just honestly think is disgusting. Who would ever lie about having such an awful disease or medical issue? As well, having my family losing at least 8 of my closest family to cancer, I know very well how it can affect not only the person with that, but the entire family unit. And so, where did I go from there? What we decided to do was, within the Anthropocosmic Apothecary, we wanted to give you that space, we wanted to give you that nurture, but we also wanted to ensure that, as I say, a whole family can join us to experience a wellness moment that is affordable, that is true luxury and true heart. Anyway, that's, I think, all I can tell you for now, because I have got a bit choked up. But what I would like to do in the next few posts, and I hope you're all interested to join me in listening to them, and I'd love to share with you on each one a little bit more about the spa. So the first thing I might start speaking about on the next post is what our name means. A lot of people can hardly say it, spell it, let alone know what it means. So I'll share with you some of that. I'd also like to share with you what we offer, why we offer it in a bit more detail, and then share with you the eco estate that we've just acquired, because we have just acquired 130 acres in which to really bring that connection back to people for wellness in terms of nature, of off-grid, of connecting to your heart and the heart of us all, as we all do come from one, and that is in an energetic term speaking about, but that's a whole nother post. Anyway, for now I'll love you all and leave you. I'm sorry if this didn't make too much sense. It is my first video post and I'm not one to be in the limelight. I just prefer to self-sacrifice in a way to deliver what we want to deliver to you all. So please keep a check on our posts. Please have a read of our website if you want, which is www.anap.com.au, which is short for the Anthropocosmic Apothecary. And I will look forward to releasing another video post very soon. Anyway, ciao for now all, and enjoy the rest of your beautiful Sunday, and I can't wait to get back to the country. Ciao.